Today I'm going to be talking about air pollution and asthma in Detroit, Michigan. So, what's wrong in Detroit today? In Detroit, with the current wave of political unrest in regards to climate change, there has been an increased exposure to pollutants and emissions, mainly in children and the residents in the southern areas of Detroit. These areas specifically harm minority groups such as African American and Latino communities. So the primary target audience that we're trying to help is the both children, male and female, who live within the southern area of Detroit, Michigan, primarily African American and Hispanic communities, as that makes up the majority of the southern side. Education level approximately elementary school, 5 to 11 years old. There has been an increase in hospitalizations of kids of this age, and there have been studies done that have shown that this has led to a decrease in their life expectancy. The goal is pretty much to reduce the amount of emissions and pollution around the southern side of Detroit, therefore decreasing the amount of cases of asthma among children in the affected area. Currently involved are three main programs: CAAA, which is the Community Action Against Asthma. They were created directly for this cause when they noticed that uh, there was more pollution in the southern side than the richer northern side of Detroit. Detroiters Working for Environmental Justice is a group that has helped try to keep Detroit greener over the past years, and this has been a main concern of theirs as well. And also Michigan Department of Natural Resources. The DNR is the entire job of the DNR is to focus on maintaining the environment. So how can it be solved? Well, the best way to address this issue is to contact city and state legislature directly and show these increasing statistics of people and children being affected by the increased pollution in the southern side. And to suggest some plans in order to reduce these emissions or to make Detroit a bit greener and help these children out. A few strategies like that include planting trees in order to reduce emission, in order to improve air quality, investing more into public transportation, such as vehicles taking highways and streets are the main sources of pollution in these areas, and introducing new regulations on emissions on industrial companies, which has also contributed to the emissions. Meanwhile, the primary source of these emissions has been vehicles. So here are three different ways at three levels we can address the issue. Strategically, we would need to begin advertising public transportation and focus on keeping Detroit greener, pointing out the statistics of these cases, maybe on billboards or just locally enforcing people to take bicycles, ride together, take buses, or institutionally bringing up these issues, like I said before, with local legislature in order to attempt to put a plan into action. Come in direct contact with the people in charge here would be the most efficient way to get this work done. Or educationally, maybe in the schools, teaching in the courses how children can help kind of reduce their carbon footprint and be a bit more greener, as well as making programs adults can go to learn more about how they can help solve this issue and help save the kids of the local area. So, of the drawbacks, the biggest issue with the emissions is the amount of highways that run through the southern side of Detroit. These would be very costly and take much longer to change. So there we cannot put as much emphasis, but when it comes to the communities and the neighborhoods with this public transport push is the best and quickest option to reduce these emissions. So critical relationships are Gretchen Whitmer. Gretchen, in the top right, Gretchen Whitmer is the current governor of Michigan, and having any support or connection to her would have the best result in leading a campaign against these rising numbers. In the bottom left, we have Mike Duggan. Mike Duggan is the current mayor of Detroit, Michigan, The implementation of any sort of regulation would benefit most if supported by the mayor, who is basically, as we know, the head of the city. These may not be necessary, but they would be the most efficient way to get this job done. In the bottom right, we have Ron Brundage. Ron Brundage is the head of the Department of Public Works in Detroit. Environmental projects that are going to be undertaken will inevitably go through him. So to have his support and to bring this to him would also be much more efficient than just trying to push it by ourselves. So the bigger picture, this has future implications for other big cities, as in a lot of big cities, emissions are an issue and cause decreased air quality. Uh, the risk affecting children who cannot control this issue, it's up to us to help them and to keep their life expectancy the same as if they were in the northern or southern part, making it so it wouldn't matter, and reduce the amount of premature deaths that occur in children of these age. And here are my sources. Thank you.